Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. I'm so glad you're here. Well, what's going on? It's Fed Day, right? The Fed comes out with their announcement on interest rates. Well, we know they're not going to make any change, but everybody's listening to the Fed because the Fed's the only thing that matters to this market. Well, they may take the June interest rate drop. They may take that off. Market's still expecting 5 or 6, but the Fed said 3. I think they're going down to 2 or 1. Market's not going to like this very much. They're kind of going to throw a tizzy fit. Now, don't get me wrong. The Fed announcement comes out today. Market could take off again. But it's usually the day or two after the Fed where the market starts to analyze and they go, Fed's not going to drop rates as much as I thought they were. And then the market's going to come back in. And that's probably going to start Thursday or Friday. That's just my take. Next week, I think, will be a big down week. That's my take. We'll see how it all plays out. We'll see what the Fed does. I think they're going to keep rates the same, but I think they're going to say that they're going to have to keep them higher for longer because of the inflation. The inflation's running hot. All right, let's get over to the real estate market. This is going to be a good one today. I've been holding off on doing this one. I didn't really want to do it. See, I'm going to get a lot of hate. A lot of comments are just going to be hate, right? I mean, everybody hates real estate brokers. I'm a real estate broker. They hate their real estate agent. He's scum, right? He's like 10 notches below the used car salesman. They're worthless, right? And we finally got him. We got him, man. We got him. The NAR, National Association of Realtors. They have to pay $418 million. We got those realtors. We got them. Okay, well, where does the money go? Who gets that money? You know, I've read article after article. I can't find out one person that benefits from the $418 million. Now, I know that I'm going to have to pay a little bit more on my association dues to make up for this. It's about, well, there's 1.5 million agents in the National Association. All right, so $418 million. The original fine was up at $2 or $3 billion, but realtors, good negotiators, they negotiated it down to $418 million. Figure about $300 for every member they have. So all my dues will go up by about $300. Now, I'd be willing to pay $30,000 for what just happened. This is golden. I mean, you got to stick with me on this. All right, so the realtors, you know, they've been supposedly having that price fixed, right? And then they sued the National Association of Realtors. Well, who's the big winner, first of all? Well, it's the attorneys, the lawyers, right? They get 35% of that $418 million. And I cannot for the life of me find out where the other $280 million go. Who gets that? Somebody leave me a comment. Who gets that? Seriously, I don't know. I can't find out. Okay, so anyways, $418 million, about $300 per member of the association. All right, so now the media is just running with this because we love slamming. We love slamming on the realtor. That realtor finally getting what's coming to him. Okay, so here's what mainstream's telling you now. Here's what they're telling you. It's going to be fully competitive, right? Brokers are now going to be able to advertise their commission, and they're going to compete with each other. Now, here's news. I know this isn't shocking to most of you, but real estate commissions have always been negotiable. Always. You can go to Redfin, get 1%. That's not bad, right? You can go there and get 1%. Now, keep in mind, you kind of get what you pay for, but you can go to Redfin. I think they're still doing their 1% listing fee. All right. Well, let's say that realtors are now going to be more competitive, and they already are. Now, they say they're going to be more competitive, but yet they say that half of them are going to go out of business. They're going to get more competitive, but half of them are going to go out of business. Commissions, they're going to be cut in half. Okay, really? That's what they're saying, right? That's what they're saying. You see, here's what it really amounts to. Okay, so right now, the ruling is, well, that we're not going to be able to advertise on the MLS any buyer commission. You see, the seller, they're sick of paying that buyer commission. They're just sick of it. They don't want to pay the buyer commission. So the National Association of Realtors, now the rule is we cannot advertise a buyer commission. Okay, so the buyer commission, people think that went away. All right, so let's say I have a listing. Let's just say it's $1 million, $1 million listing. Now, before this ruling, I would charge, well, I'd charge about, let's just say I'd charge 5%, right? Okay, and I give 2.5 away, maybe I give 2.5 away. All right, to the buyer, right? To the agent that brings the buyer. So split 50-50, 2.5, 2.5. But now I'm raising my 2.5 back to 3. Why? Because no one's going to complain about it. There's not going to be anywhere to go to. Half the agents are going away. So I just got to raise. And you know what? Okay, the last one I just sold, I only got 2% on that. Okay, 2%. Now it did take me 3 or 4 hours, and it was over 2.5 million. Let's just call it 2.5 million. But it took me about 3 or 4 hours. I put it on Friday. It sold on Saturday. So 4 hours, let's call it 5 hours. I made 50,000. Okay. 50,000 was my commission for about 5 hours work. Let's say 10,000 an hour. Okay. But I discount it to 2%. My take was 2%. But now I'm going to get 3%. So I just got a raise. On that one, it'd be $25,000 increase in how much I'm going to get now. I think this is fabulous, right? But Mike, there's no buyer agents anymore. How are you going to get sold? Well, that's the thing. They wiped out all my competition. See, I'm a listing agent. I always thought it was stupid to be a buyer agent. How do I know it's stupid? I used to do it. You drive people around, you put offers in, and you never get paid. One client, I put in over 16 offers, got 4 of them accepted. He went and bought from someone else. Very normal. That's very common, very common. So now I gave that up years ago. I don't do that. I'm just the listing side. So now every time I take a listing, it's not going to be at 2%. I just got to raise. I'm going to do it at 3 now. 3%. Okay, now I know a lot of people go, but Mike, real estate agents are going away. We're just going to use that app on the internet. We're going to use AI to sell the properties. Now you're going away. Great. I hope I do. I'm ready to retire. I'm good with that, but I'm going to raise my rate from 2% to 3%. So who gets screwed? Do I get screwed? No, I just raised my rate. I just got a 1/3% increase, 1/3% increase of my rate. Okay, so my rate on a $1 million home just went from 20,000 to 30,000. Okay, that's good. Okay, but it's better than that. Okay, look at the buyers that are going to come to my open house. My open houses always get a lot of buyers. Now, this is in a good market. We're going to talk about what happens when the market turns down and becomes a bad market. But this is in a good market. But now all these buyers, they don't have any agent. They don't have any representation. This is golden for me. You see, when they come in, as all the buyer has to do is tell me, hey, I'm working with an agent. I can't even talk to that buyer. I can't do anything. It's against the law for me to approach that buyer. He's the client of someone else. So I can't do anything. Now the buyers are going to come in, no representation. Oh, you don't have an agent? Great. Would you like to buy the house? Oh, I love the house. Well, it's got a lot of competition. You want me to get the house for you? Oh, I'd love you to get the house for me. Great. Would you just sign right here? This is the buyer's agreement. What does that say? It says I'm going to charge you $30,000 to get the house. But I don't want to pay $30,000. Okay, next. They will pay. It's doubling. First of all, I'm getting the 1/3 increase in my commission. Now I'm getting the buyer also. They will pay. They will sign that. Now, why will they sign that? Because if they don't sign that, I don't need to work with them. They're not represented. I don't need to give them the time of day. Now, granted, I have a fiduciary duty to my seller, not to him. I don't have any duty to him. Now, when he was represented, his agent had a job to do to get me to sell that guy the house, and his agent would do anything they could. They'd pull me aside. They go, Mike, what's it going to take to get the house? I go, well, you got to come in at $2.6 million. Okay, I'll see if my client can do that. I go back, and client don't want to do that. Okay, next. You see, when the market's busy, you can just go next. There's so many people waiting in line to buy houses right now. So I'm going to get that commission. Now, in 13 states, you're not allowed to do that. It's called a dual agency, and you're not allowed to do that. Now, why is that buyer paying me? He's paying me so that I can tell him what the highest bid that comes in on the property from anyone that's represented, the highest bid, and I can go to him and go, hey, the highest bid is $2.3 million. Would you like to buy it for $2.3 million and $1? Well, yes, I would. Great, you just bought it. Now I get his commission, I get this commission. We're cleaning up. Now this isn't fair. This is just what's going to happen. Now who loses out here? Who loses out? The buyer really loses out. Let me tell you why. Seller loses out also. Now that's a little more complicated. So stay with me. The buyer loses out. You see, before he didn't have to come up with the cash. Let's say on that $1 million property, let's just say if he bought it like with 3% down on FHA, he'd have to have 3% down there and 3% now to pay me to represent him as a dual agent, right? Okay, so if he wants the house, if he doesn't want the house, I just take the next guy. See, it's up to him now to pay me or not pay me. I don't care if he pays me. I got plenty of people waiting when the market's hot. We're going to talk about what happens when the market cools off. But right now, in my area, the market's still hot. So he's going to pay me to get the house. He's going to pay me to know what the highest bid is. I'm going to let him have it for $1 above. Did I hurt my seller? No, I made him an extra $1. I hurt all those other people that put offers in? Yeah, because I represent this guy. I don't represent those other people. I got to help him out. This is amazing what's going to happen. Okay, so he loses out though, right? Okay, now here's why he really loses out. And I just, I can't believe that this is what the public wants to happen. But apparently everybody's excited about this. I'm real excited, believe me. You see, before I used to tell people, if you want to be a real estate agent, do not be one. Go find another job. Go work at McDonald's. Become a manager at McDonald's. You'll make way more than you ever make as a real estate agent. You know the average agent makes less than $50,000 a year. Average agent, less than $50,000 a year. Managers at McDonald's, they must make $70,000, $80,000, right? Okay, so you can do anything else, you should go do it. Now what I tell people after this ruling is, get your license by July. It's going to be a free-for-all. Half the agents are going away. They just killed off the competition. I can teach you how to get the listings. A lot of agents don't know how. They don't know how. I know how. I can teach you. But okay, so I'd say get your license. That's what I'd say, right? Okay, but here's what really happens. All right, $1 million house, they come in with $100,000, right? But they got to pay me $20,000, $30,000 as a commission from the buyer side now, because otherwise I'm not representing them, and then they're not going to be the winning bidder. I'm pretty sure they're not. I just make it work that way, right? Now, granted, they have to bid higher than the winning bidder. I can't hurt my seller. I always tell people, give me their highest and best offer. That's your highest and best. Okay, I'll let you know if you get the property. Oh, it's not your highest and best. Well, what is your highest and best? Oh, that's your highest. Okay, I'll let you know if you get the property. So my guy now is going to know what that offer is because I represent him. I go, hey, we got this other offer. Would you like to come in $1 higher? Sure he would. Okay, well, I just made an extra $20,000, $30,000. But he's got to come up with that in cash now, right? Before he's putting $100,000 down on this $1 million property. And if he only has $100,000, he's not going to get the property because he's got to pay me an extra 30 now, right? So 130 he's got to come up with. Well, maybe, I don't have 130, Mike. Well, let's see if you have 100, right? All right, so we'll take the 30 out. So 700, you have 70,000 now, right? Well, 70,000, you could buy a $700,000 house. But this house is $1 million. Yes, it is. You can no longer buy this house until they come down to 700,000, which they're going to do because they're not going to have any buyers that are represented. So the sellers are just lost about 20 to 30%. Now we know when the housing crash is actually going to start. Going to start in July. It's going to be great. I'm telling you, this is not what the public wants. The public public's real excited is we finally got those real estate agents. Those guys are the scum. Look at that tall Mike. He is the laziest agent you'll ever see. And I'll be the first to admit it. I don't want to do any work. I am lazy. If it's going to take me more than 4 or 5 hours to sell your house, I'm probably not even going to take the listing. I already stopped working with buyers a long time ago. This is terrible. I know I'm going to be the most hated person on the internet, but this is just how real estate works. I'm going to be very hated, but here's the thing. All right, so that's in a hot market. We'll get to the slow market now. The market slows down. There's no one coming to see the house. What happens? What happens? Well, we can't offer the buyer's agent any money to bring their buyers in anymore. Well, I guess you got to lower your price. Lower my price? I don't want to lower my price. I want to get what Billy Bob got. Yeah, well, Billy Bob got out here at $1 million, but there's no buyers at $1 million. They went away. It's a slow market now. Well, can't we offer the other agents to bring the people? They're gone. They got rid of them all. Who are we going to offer it to? It's illegal to offer money to the other agents now. That's what this ruling says. Okay, well, what do we do, Tom? Well, you lower the price. Well, how much? I'd recommend 20 to 30%. But that'd be 800 to 700,000. Yeah, that's about right. And if we get lucky, if we don't get lucky, we're going to have to take one of those cash buyers. What's a cash buyer? Well, he's the one that comes in and offers you 40 to 50% of what your house is worth. Well, I don't want to do that. Well, then we better hurry up and lower it. We better get it down to 700,000 right away so we can attract at least one buyer back in. This is what's going to happen in a slow market. This is not going to be pretty. This is not going to be for the faint at heart. But at least we know when the crash starts. At National Association of Realtors is going to start to crash in the housing market. It's very sad for sellers, very sad for buyers, but terrible for the buying agent. It's an amazing gift to God for the selling agent, a gift from God. That's the only way I can think of this. I would have paid at least $30,000. I have to pay $300 extra in dues to cover the NAR's fine. I mean, I would have given them 30 grand, 60 grand. This is great. But anyways, I got carried away. I know I'm going to get a lot of haters, but don't worry. Half the realtors are going away. Commissions are going to be cut in half. Just listen to mainstream media. Don't listen to Tall Mike because he doesn't know anything about that real estate business. Anyways, if you like this stuff, I know you didn't, but I'll go ahead and push the thumbs down anyways. But give me the hate comments all you want. The Moon Boys have been replaced today with the real estate agent haters, and I'm okay with that. I'm tough, but I've been in this business for a long time. I know how it works, but get out there. Try to enjoy your day. I hope I didn't ruin it for anybody, but this will send house prices tumbling down starting in July. Get out there. Bye-bye now.